Hi there, Neil from Richter, and welcome to another video. As you can see behind me today, we've actually got a Skoda Superb estate in. This is a hybrid car in silver. It's actually booked in for a rear view camera, so I thought what we'd do is another retrofit video which covers off some of that install. Decided today what we're going to do is change it up a little bit, so to give you a nice fresh face, rather than me talk you through it, we've got Will here, one of our technicians. We're going to actually film him doing the install, and he'll talk you through the install as he progresses.
Hi there, I'm Will, as Neil's just mentioned. I'm a technician here at Richter Automotive, and today we're going to be fitting a rear camera on this Skoda Superb. Let's do this. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to get all this boot stripped down, all the interior panels off, and then we can get access to where the camera's going to get mounted. So as you can now see, the boot panel's off. This is the original latch we're going to be removing here. To do so, we're literally just going to get our right angle pick in there to open up the electrics. And once that's done, we can then unplug it. And now we're going to push in on the four corners of the tabs, and the old latch is going to fall out, ready for the new camera to go in. So now all the clips have been removed. This will literally just simply pop out, and we have a nice hole there now for the new rear camera to go in. Right, so this is the camera unit. Goes literally straight in as a factory replacement to the original handle. And just simply clips in like that. So now the camera's in, we're going to start adding all this loom. It's a nice simple kit to fit. We literally got to plug in our video wire and all our power and CAN bus on here. And then we're going to be following all the way down the passenger side. The lug box is most likely going to be coming out. And then we'll be doing our CAN bus, our power and all our video wires into the back of the radio, known as the 5F. Right, so now that's all clipped in, just for extra sort of safety precautions here at Richter, what we want to do, just make sure it doesn't come undone, we're going to get our factory felt tape and we're going to loom over it, just so nothing can come unclipped in the boot, and then we're going to start following the factory loom lines down through the boot so we can get out the boot and towards the front of the car. So what we've done now, we've started to follow the factory loom and the camera loom in with it. These are a bit more tricky than other vehicles we do rear cameras on, because a lot of the time the loom comes behind the plastic panel here, but on this Skoda it actually goes in through the metal channel and down to the bottom grommet. So this is the next challenge now, feeding the wire down so we can get it down into the car. So the easiest way to get the wire down from the metal channel is a set of plumber's rods. So we're going to add these together, feed them up, and then we can add the loom to it and pull it through with ease. So now we're going to add our loom onto the rods. This way we can put it through without damaging any of the wires. We just can pass onto the felted bit a bit, that way it doesn't come off. And now we can pull her through. Right, so now we've got the wiring all in, the camera in, we can start putting the boot back together. I personally like building up as I'm working going forward, so that way you don't have to do a full rebuild at the end. So we've got the wire to this point now, so we can start putting the panel back on and tidying up behind ourselves as we keep moving forward. So now we're going to run the wire through this grommet. It's quite a tight grommet. Easiest way to do it is a bit of brake cleaner. Reason being, it evaporates off afterwards. So you spray that in there, the rod will slide through a lot nicer now. And once it's out, we can then pull the wire all the way through. The only thing you've got to be careful with here is the edge work on the paint work. So you don't want to catch any of the wiring on there. And we can just clip it all back together. So we're just going to start removing this panel here. That way we can get our wire fed down and through easy enough. And we're going to come across the top of the headliner, over the airbag, and down here at the C-pillar to then go forwards. So this is why the rods come in so handy for feeding all your wires through. Because without it, you'd be struggling. So what we're doing now, we're just looming up the factory loom again, because there's already a loom that goes up and over the headliner. So we're going to follow this loom and come through and then back down here. So once again, as we've done this stage here now and we're still going forward, we're going to keep rebuilding as we go. With these sort of trims, you just got to be patient with them, try and get the metal clips to line up, and they'll sort of just eventually fall in place. You don't want to be pushing it at all really until you know it's in line. Make sure all the rubber around the boot is all back in. One final last check, and that is looking all good. So now we're here on the C-pillar, we're slowly tucking it down, and we're going to come along the bottom sill and carry on to the glove box. Let's do this. Right, so as we can now see, the loom's up here at the front of the car. We're going to follow the factory loom and loom it up as well. Remove the dash M panel, the lower kick panel, and then pull the glove box open, remove the 5F and start doing some wiring in there. Right, so inside the glove box here is the 5F. We put our 2 radio keys in, give them a little turn, and out comes the radio. So now we've got the 5F pulled out. The way we've had to do that to get it to this sort of state, we've had to drop the glove box down and open it up, because sometimes there's a cable tie holding the loom on to the metal crash bar, the sort of dashboard bar. They get like that from when they get built up from factory. So what we've had to do is snip that. That way we can actually pull all the loom out, and we can now start to disconnect it all. Right, so now we've got the loom coming up and through where the 5F would be. So we're going to start doing our pinning into the back of the quad lock here. So now we've got our CAN bus wires located for the correct network. We're just going to carefully splice these open, one at a time. That way we don't break any of the wires. And then we've got our CAN network here for the rear camera. Just give ourselves a little bit more length. Just give these a slight twist so they don't burr up as we're trying to twist them onto the network. And now we can join these onto the network. Once this is done, make sure you insulate it well with some good insulation tape, and once this bit's done we'll loom it up again similar to the video wires. So on this particular model of Skoda, unfortunately there's no real suitable earth points anywhere on this side of the vehicle. So what we're going to do with this rear camera, we're just going to tap on to the good solid earth going to the back of the 5F. So in doing so, we'll do that now, and then once this is done, we've just now got to then pin our permanent live into the fuse box, and we can then start coding. So now all the wiring's in, we've pinned everything into the back of the fuse box, got a 10 amp fuse in there, we're all ready to go. So now we're going to do some coding and get this camera working. So to do this, we're using VCDS. So once we're loading into VCDS, we're going to go into the certain modules we need to go into to then do the coding. Right, so now we're all done with the coding, we're going to give it a go, see if it works. So as you can see there, we've selected reverse, it comes up on the dashboard here. We've got our yellow grid lines, so as you turn your steering wheel, you can see your direction of travel to where you're reversing. And then also the main difference as well from the factory screen, we have here the touch sensitivity, and then this is the new sensor display. But if you just wanted your sensors on display, that's how it would have originally been. But then you can also go back to your rear camera view. Right, this vehicle's all wrapped up now. The customer's on their way to pick it up. If you like what you've seen, please like and subscribe to the channel. If you've got any inquiries for yourself for any retrofit for Audi Volkswagen Group, please email sales@richterautomotive.co.uk. I hope you enjoy this video. We'll see you at the next one.